Alright, so my client is woofing out. He's letting his hair grow out so that way his waves can get in deeper. But as you can see, his back is getting pretty wild. And not to point any fingers, but we don't want his hair to end up looking like this. I'm just playing, guys. That's a little shout out my boy Bonds. But anyways, we're going to give him a low taper. That way his hair can keep on growing and he can keep up with the woof. So we're just going to go ahead and bottom out at the bottom. Alright, but now turning him to the side, you can see that all the hair is sticking out. And pretty much everything below the occipital bone, I want to go ahead and debulk it. That way whenever I do my guideline like I'm doing now, it's not going to take off too much. I can control how much hair I want to take off. I'm making my second guideline, which is my number one, blade all the way open. And same thing, this is just going to debulk some of the hair so I can see what I'm doing. I can get a clear picture of what I want to do, and it won't take a lot of hair off. Now with the number two, all I'm doing, I'm not really trying to create another guideline. I'm just kind of trying to soften up that transition into the longer hair. And like you see, like I'm not really going too deep. I'm just going in softly and underneath it. So now with the, you can see my first guideline, my second guideline, and my third guideline, if you want to count that as a guideline. But starting out the fading process, I'm going to start at the very bottom, and I'm going to have my blade all the way closed, taking out the bottom line. And each time that I go up, I'm going to be opening up my blade a 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to go a 1/4 of an inch higher. But I'm never going to go above the second guideline, because that's whenever you end up pushing the hairline, the fade way too high. So this is very important, guys. Y'all see that I combed down the hair in which it naturally wants to grow in, and his hair was growing straight up, so you gotta cut against the grain. I had to turn my clippers upside down, and I had to cut against it. That way we can give him a smooth, soft transition. That way it's not looking all choppy. So now that I took out the bottom guideline, I'm going to go ahead and take out the second guideline, which is from the 0 into the number 1. So what guard comes in between the 0 and the number 1? A half guard, right? So it's 0, half, 1, and 2. So y'all can see that half guard is doing its magic. It's taking that line right on out. And we got to take out the line between the number 1 and the number 2. And what's it going to be now? The 1.5. Simple as that, guys. If you can count, you can cut hair. Well, not always, because what really separates you from just cutting hair and knowing how to cut hair is the attention to detail. Like right now, I'm debulking the side of it. I'm prepping the hairline to be able to line it up, and this is whenever the magic happens, guys. Once you put this line in, everybody should know this. Once you put that line in on the side, once you line it up, that's whenever the whole haircut transforms. That's whenever you start seeing the fade come all together. And like you see, these are the new Babyliss, and these things are a beast. They are monsters. So y'all can see, like just by putting in that one side, just by lining up the one side, this fade completely changed. Now I always like put in the lineup first before I detail it, because like I said, before you put in the lineup, you can't really see what the overall picture is going to be yet. So instead of trying to waste time and trying to make the fade perfect, I put in the lineup first. Then any imperfections will always pop out once you put the lineup in, and that's whenever it's a good time to go in and really detail your fades. And as you can see, that fade is blurry. So same thing on the side taper, just went ahead and put my low guideline in. And you can see I'm pointing out that last big wave, and that's gonna be my initial guideline for this. I do not want to go above that first. I don't want to go above that big wave, because if I go above it, then his woofing process is going to come to an end. So like I saw, I went in with my number 2, then with my 1.5 guard just to debulk some of the hair out. So whenever I put in my guideline like I'm doing now, I'm not going to be taking off too much hair, which is one of the main issues. A lot of people don't debulk, so whenever you don't take off some of the heavy hair that's laying on top and you go in and make your guidelines and such, that's whenever accidents happen. That's whenever you end up pushing the fade up way too high. Again, with this, you're going to end up seeing that that the fade isn't coming out perfect. It looks a little choppy, it looks messy, doesn't really look the best. But instead of spending way too much time and trying to make that perfect, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and skip all that. I'm not gonna sit there and try to make the fade perfect yet. I'm gonna go in and put my lineup in first. Once again, once you put the lineup in, after that you can see where the fade really sits, and most of the time your fade's already done. But since you didn't have that lineup in, then you can't really see it. It looks choppy. But see, already just by lining up the front and the corner, y'all can see that the fade is coming together just like that. It went from looking choppy, from not even looking faded, to being like blurry as heck. And so now that I got my lineup in, once again, now I can go in and start detailing all my cut. Sometimes whenever you put in the lineup, like I said, you see more imperfections, so that's whenever you can touch up. Like right here, I saw like little darker spots. So now that I put the lineup in, the darker spots really pop out. So I'm really able to go in with my clippers and really attack what I see that are imperfections. Comb out that hair. You saw that. If I were to leave that hair like that and he goes and puts a do-rag on, puts his wave products in, then all those little hairs are going to be sticking out. So always be sure to go back and make sure that no hairs are going to be overlaying the lineup. But y'all see that, like this fade is done. It's blurry. It came out nice. His lineup came out perfect. Like now he can whip for another month or two and he won't be looking all crazy. But yeah guys, that's the end of this video. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all learned something from it. I know I am speaking a little fast on this, but let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at George's Fades, and as always, hit the like and share button, and please hit that subscribe button. It'll help me out a lot. And thank you guys, and y'all stay tuned for the next video.